Justice League Unlimited issue 8, Mark Waid writing with Dan Mora on the R.
God, I can't believe we agree. That said, Grodd calling himself the Gorilla God, that's pretty cool.
That's just a cheap pop. You're just giving them points for a cheap pop. You
I love
whore. You're a whore, Matt. That's what you are. You're a whore.
I don't understand that's fine. I don't mind. Gorilla God, Gorilla Grodd. It's great. Also, when they did the kneel before Grodd back in the what was that, New 52? Rebirth? Whenever it was. That was a lot of fun as well. I have no idea what the hell. I know there's some timey-wimey elements.
Nothing happens.
I know it involves Darkseid's crack.
Oh yeah, they talk about rifts and energy and whatnot, and the fact that this team that Airwave showed up with can't go home at the end, so they're actually sticking around in this book, which is Batman Beyond. And is that the Silver? I mean, not Silver Age, but like, is that younger Batman and Robin sticking around at the end? Because it looks like
it's at least Robin, because we know he got there was some timey-wimey stuff with him. In World's Finest, remember?
It looks like Batman's there as well at the end, like the regular Batman that goes with him.
Is it regular Batman too?
I think so. He's on that.
We also have year zero Batman. Yeah, you're right.
Is there? It's the page. Oh, I'm trying to find it because it's. Yeah, so it's the page where Superman's explaining that because of the tachyons, they're all stuck here, and there's a big panel of all these characters, and there's Superman Blue. There's what maybe appears to be younger Superman. There's like Year One Flash, and I hated that Year One Flash stuff from Williamson. Batman Beyond, it looks like there's 2 Robins that are there.
That's why I'm wondering if that's just not meant to be. No, because he's got the oval on his chest. That's not meant to be our Batman.
I don't think so.
Regular Batman.
Because that's not what our regular Batman looks like right now.
No.
And who's the second Robin? there's one in Pixie Shorts. Who's that one?
Great question.
I don't know. Anyway, I care. I actually do not care. It's not going to matter. It really isn't. This issue is just lots of fighting. There is like no progression. There's no real sense of plot movement or anything like that. There's no like anchor to which everything forms around. Like at one point in the middle of this book, there's like a splash page of like everyone kind of like coming in together, assembling as if we're all here to fight you, and I'm like, this only works if I feel like there's been like times have been tough and we're building up to something, or it feels like you like I understand the dominoes that have fell to get us to this point where like everyone's assembled kind of thing. Not to use a Marvel word, but that it very much has a Justice League Assemble page, but it's all just been kind of fighting before then. Anyway, there's like a couple of pages where it goes around like different things. Where is that the Thunder Boy was the sidekick Superman got in this book, was it, or in the World's Finest?
World's Finest.
Yeah. There's that. There's like a Terrifics panel where like it seems to be from the past because Plastic Man's saying, "Hey, can we call ourselves the Terrifics?" And I'm like, okay, so I guess this is from back then, and I just
and then. Yeah, the Metamorpho and Bizarro fuse into some kind of John Carpenter's The Thing form.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on here.
Yeah, there's an alternate Harley Quinn that's there with Batman Beyond and Jonah Hex, and I just like there's just lots of fighting. Nothing really interesting was happening. The only plot point I really remember throughout the entire fight is that they put the device on Grodd's head so that Martian Manhunter can get his powers back. And there's a page or a panel that looks like Martian Manhunter's coming. It looks like he's doing an O-face as he says, "Finish him," which made me laugh hysterically because he's throwing his head back and he's looking up with his mouth open as if he's having an orgasm, and he's like, "Finish him! Finish him!"
Okay, I didn't think that, but now it's there, so thanks for that.
Yeah, now you see it, because I pointed it out.
Yeah. And he's bathed in all this weird color.
I kind of enjoyed this crossover. It's definitely the best World's Finest had been in a long time. But honestly, this last part of it, this last issue of it, is a complete and utter whiff. Like, nothing interesting. Like, all this was a big fight where the heroes ultimately win. That was it. There's like nothing interesting to it whatsoever. The Dan Mora art can't make it any more interesting. It just
No. And now there's two Terrifics too, right? Because we got the Terrifics version of Mr. Terrific, but then the Justice League Unlimited version.
Are they sticking around too? I don't actually know. Like, is everyone that came through sticking around?
Because he's the one that's talking about, like, he's the one that tells Martian Manhunter, that you're not listening.
Oh yeah, okay.
So they spend more time. Yeah.
On that page where we said, we see all these people who are stuck here, you see Plastic Man's head coming in. If you trace his neck back to the back, you can see a Mr. Terrific back there, which would suggest that, yes, indeed, there are now, there's a second Mr. Terrific, there's a second Plastic Man, there's an old school Wonder Woman there as well. And what purpose we have for them all sticking around? I'm sure Mark Waid's got some stupid idea that he wants to do, but like right now it just feels like, why? Why not just send them back to their time zones? I don't
know. I feel like this is not this version of Mr. Terrific's not the one that hung out with Airwave so much.
No.
Right?
No.
That should have been the Justice League Unlimited one. But so him being that, so I don't know if that's an art mistake or what, but he's wearing the white suit that we associate with the Terrifics. Which that was a fun book. I like that book. Yeah. I missed that book. So
no, the one who's talking about Airwave must be the one who spent time with Airwave.
Yeah. It just feels like then that's an art mistake then. But yeah, man, there's just a lot going on here at the end.
Well, no, I think you're just confused because he's got his jacket off. That's it. He's just got his jacket off.
You think that's what it is?
That's the regular Mr. Terrific, yeah. Or the current one, I should say. They're both regular, technically. But you know what I mean.
I have a currently really good Mr. Terrific in pages of another book.
Yeah. I think you've just confused them with the Terrifics version because he's got his jacket off. So it looks like there's more weight in his outfit than normal, but I think it's just because the jacket's off. I think that's all it is.
So he's Mr. Terrific jacket off?
Are you making a masturbating joke there?
I might be, after you brought up Manhunter's O-face.
Yeah, but that was actually, I wasn't stretching. There was no stretching in what I was saying. You're
I'm just saying he's Mr. Terrific jacket off. That's all.
You're construing words as best you can to get to an end result.
I'm just saying, Mr. Terrific jacket off.
All right, last page is a little epilogue where Doomsday, Time Trapper Doomsday, comes through a portal to the World Forger. And he says, time in this universe is coming to an end.
Yeah. Which is also Hyper Time, which is because they say that that's where he is in Hyper Time. That is a concept that Mark Waid really championed in the 90s. It kind of explained why the Justice Society is still around despite being around in the 40s and all the different versions of certain characters and all this other stuff. And if you look behind them, there's all these different versions of our characters, right? There's the Gotham by Gaslight Batman, there's the Red Sun Superman, there's the swapped versions of Superwoman and Batwoman and Wonder Man.
Yeah.
Right.
Kingdom Come Superman's so there as well.
Kingdom Come's there too. So Wade's definitely got something up his sleeve. If he's telling the new history of the DC universe, then this I'm sure is in his plans.
Yeah, this issue was a blur. I just took nothing in because it was just fighting.
Me neither.
That sucked. That's maybe the worst issue that Mark Waid's written since he came back to DC.
Yep. And it was the first thing I read this week, and I thought it didn't make an impact, but it did, but not in the way that I wanted it to. Because I still remember the things that happened, but none of it feels like it's worth remembering, if that makes sense. Like, I remembered it because we were talking about it, but if this was just something that I had read and we weren't talking about it for this, I would have forgotten a lot of what happened, and nothing is that memorable. And I'm starting to feel like that's a lot of what Justice League Unlimited is becoming. It's stuff that's just not memorable.
Well, I feel like that problem's more World's Finest to me. I just feel like I don't know. We'll see what the next arc's like. Hopefully it's better. But I don't know. Like it's so weird because Batman and Robin Year One is like one of Wade's best books ever. Like it's fantastic. And then World's Finest and this are just kind of like hovering in and out of mediocrity to bad. It's really strange. All right. I mean, the Dan Mora art's obviously solid because it's Dan Mora art, but it's also so stuffed with characters that I wouldn't even say that I like the art. Like, and the obviously it looks good, but like there's so much going on, and like there was no flow to it because there's so much going on that I didn't enjoy the art the way that I normally would.
Yeah, it's very chaotic. There's a lot going on. There's a lot to look at. Lots of colors. He's very good at it, but you almost get overwhelmed by it all.
Yeah. All right, what are you rating Justice League Unlimited?
I'm rating this a 6.5.
What? Nah, like 4 out of 10.
6.5.
It's a shit book. This was a shit issue. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. It was just fighting.
Gorilla Grodd became the Gorilla God. Excuse me.
4.